So picture this. You're standing right in the middle of a laboratory. It's quiet, the equipment is humming away, and we're looking at a very real problem. How do we keep our food safe without pumping it full of artificial chemicals? Welcome to This Explainer. Today, I want to tell you a story. It's a story about a natural savior that might just change the way we look at the meat sitting in our fridge right now. Now, think about your chicken at home. Have you ever wondered what actually keeps it fresh without using a whole cocktail of synthetic chemicals? We've got a bit of a modern dilemma on our hands. The food industry uses lots of artificial preservatives to stop meat from spoiling, right? But honestly, a lot of us are worried about the health risks. So scientists are constantly searching for safer, natural ingredients, like the amazing Asam Gelugur fruit, to be our new savior. Okay, let's dive into this. The moment a piece of raw chicken is processed, it basically faces two major villains. We're talking about lipid oxidation and microbial growth. These two are the absolute worst. They're the culprits behind that terrible smell, the weird discoloration, and the spoilage you get when meat goes bad. The clock is literally ticking the second that chicken is cut. Let me introduce you to the hero of our story, Nani. She's a brilliant student researcher from the Faculty of Applied Sciences at UiTM. That's UiTM. And she decided to test a very special local ingredient against those two villains. It's a gorgeous yellowish-green pumpkin-shaped fruit called Asam Gelugur. Scientifically, it's known as Garcinia atroviridis. It's absolutely packed with organic acids. And Nani wanted to know, could this traditional fruit actually be the ultimate natural meat preservative? To figure this out, Nani set up a super meticulous experiment. First, she took fresh chicken breast and cut it into these perfect little 2 by 3 by 3 centimeter cubes. Then she marinated them, but not just with the raw fruit. She used an ethanolic extract of the Asam Gelugur. She divided the chicken into 3 groups, a 0% control, a 3% extract, and a 6% extract. Finally, she popped them into a chiller at 4 degrees Celsius, just like your fridge at home, to see what would happen over 7 days. Actually, I should tell you how she got that extract, because the lab setup was really cool. She used this massive machine called a rotary evaporator. By carefully evaporating the solvents, Nani was able to pull out the absolute purest, most potent organic acids from the fruit. She wasn't just squeezing fruit juice on the chicken, She was scientifically isolating its strongest chemical defenses. Now, before we get to the results, let's talk about one of those villains, lipid oxidation. In the lab, they measure this using something called a TBARS assay. But just think of it like rust. You know how a metal gate rusts or an apple turns brown when you leave it out? When the fats in the chicken react with oxygen, they basically rust. That's what gives bad meat that awful rancid odor. Stopping that chemical rust is exactly what Nani was trying to do. So the crucial point is, did it work? Well, welcome to the 3% miracle. To keep meat from smelling rancid, that rust level has to stay below 0.5. Anything higher and the meat is ruined. Amazingly, the 3% Asam Gelugur extract acted like this incredible antioxidant barrier. Even on day 7 of storage, it kept those lipid oxidation levels totally safe, perfectly below that 0.5 mark. It completely resisted the rust. But wait, what about the other villain, the microbes? This brings us to the 6% miracle. When Nani tested the 6% extract, she found these clear rings around the samples called inhibition zones. This basically proved that the stronger extract is an absolute warrior against microbes. It successfully fought off nasty bacteria like Staphylococcus aureus and even a yeast called Candida albicans. The organic acids just make the environment way too hostile for these invaders to survive. Though, as with any good story, there is a twist. The 6% extract is an amazing microbial shield at first, especially from day 0 to day 3. But it doesn't last forever. By day 7, the microbial load started creeping back up. Why? Well, those active compounds in the extract actually start binding to the meat proteins over time. That leaves fewer free antimicrobials to fight off the really stubborn, cold-tolerant microbes living in the fridge. Still, despite that twist, the physical quality of the treated meat was fantastic. Let's look at the pH levels. Fresh chicken is usually around 5.4 to 5.8. By day 7, the untreated chicken's pH shot up dangerously close to 6.2, which means it was definitely deteriorating. But Nani's treated chicken, it stayed beautifully stable and safely below 5.93. The baseline freshness was totally preserved.
Oh, and there was a really nice cosmetic bonus too, which is huge because, let's face it, we all eat with our eyes first. The untreated meat got noticeably darker over the week. But the chicken treated with the Asam Gelugur extract actually looked brighter. Those high organic acids acted like a natural brightening agent. So the meat didn't just stay safer on a microscopic level, it physically looked fresher for a whole lot longer.
So, what's next for our researcher? Nani has some really big future dreams for this study. To solve that day 7 drop in protection, she suggested we could combine this extract with vacuum packaging. It's a powerful combination approach. She also wants to test out a simple boiling extraction method to see how it compares to the ethanolic one, and use standardized cultures to make future tests even more precise. It is just so fascinating how a simple fruit like Asam Gelugur can stand up to the synthetic chemicals we usually rely on. It makes you wonder, right? What other natural miracles are just out there waiting to be unlocked in the lab? I really hope you enjoyed this story. If Nani's research sparked your curiosity, drop your questions in the comments section below, and please hit that like and share button so more people can learn about this. Thanks for hanging out with me today.